Life is a winding road.
Welcome to the restorative movement sessions. For today's class, you will only need a place where you can sit comfortably. Hopefully it's on the floor, but there's no problem if you have to sit on a chair. Just look for a steady, firm place that it's not too puffy. The bed, some couches are not as firm as we need. So just make sure you have that firm ground to sit down so we can lengthen the spine and do this breath stability work that is going to be very interesting and very full of input for you to analyze and just to think about. So let's start changing our posture and sit down in a way that your legs can be relaxed. So this is an option on the floor, just a normal cross-legged. That could work. If you have two blocks, you can place them underneath the knees and relax the legs. If you're on the chair, just make sure your feet are touching the ground, as so. If you need something to hold in between your knees to keep your legs engaged, you can also do that. Maybe a little ball or a pillow. I really like to use blocks to sit on. And we need our legs to be very relaxed so we can focus on lengthening the spine. Again, if your back is hunched, we want to start drawing the chest up and have the spine as vertical as possible. If you start experiencing some back pain, you can also use a wall behind your back and place your back from the hip, from the sacrum, all the way to the shoulder blades. Have it against the wall. And feel that your back can be relaxed. If you need also to use the back of your chair, just make sure your back is in the most vertical line as possible, and go ahead, put your back against the back of your chair. Relax your shoulders down, relax the muscles of your face. You can maybe open your eyes and start feeling that the forehead is opening, is relaxed, it's not tense. And with this posture, a simple yet dignified posture with a lengthened back, with the chest open, the torso breathing, the rib cage, the more space to breathe. The legs relaxed and grounded. You're going to welcome your breath. So we all breathe. That is something that your body does automatically. But mindfulness breathing, let's say that recollects, retakes, and regrabs the attention of your mind and place it somewhere on an object. So it's going to be very easy for your mind to get distracted So with the most gentle touch, safe action, you're going to recollect, regrab, to retake the object of focus that we have today, and that is the breath. So the very first thing that we're going to focus on to be able to feel the breath is on the movement of the breath. So if you're relaxed, you're going to feel the breath moving on the belly. So take your attention there on the belly and feel the breath moving back and forth. Your belly expands forward as you inhale and back as you exhale. If it's hard for you to feel that, you can use your hands. Feel how the fabric of your clothes are moving, how your hands are moving. You can also feel on your waist or on your lower back. So there is a three-dimensional way that your breath moves your belly. So for that extra help, use your hands. But if you feel that you're ready to feel the breath by just focusing on the waist, the abdominal movements, then go ahead and place your hands on your lap. Relax your shoulders. So again, let's go and use the movement to be able to focus on the breath. Where else are you feeling the breath moving? If you have identified the spots on your body, then very good. Stay on those places. And you can say, I am feeling my shoulders moving, or maybe my ribs. Again, if that is hard for you to perceive, you can use your hands. Just by crossing your forearms, you're going to feel your torso, or maybe hand over the other. You're going to feel your chest moving. Or maybe collarbones, crossing your hands on opposite collarbones, opposite clavicles, and you'll feel the breath moving there. Now, let's just take the navel in and lock your navel in. Just leave it there. And this will block the breath to go down, and we're moving with the upper body. Now feel again your shoulders, clavicles, and upper chest moving up and down, or maybe to the sides. Very good. You can be in different places. Now let's try the lower belly and the crown of your head. Maybe this is more subtle. Maybe it's a bit harder to feel, but it's just an experiment. So there it is, you have movement to have the attention to recollect, to retake your attention into the object that we're focusing on, which is the breath. So that is our first technique of mindfulness. to bring the attention here and now, and not being taken by our thoughts anywhere, by our emotions anywhere, or all over the place, as sometimes we say. I am all over the place. Okay, so let's just be in one place, alright? Let's move with the breath and feel those motions on those different areas of your body that we have been through. Now let's go into a more subtle sensation, which is the sound. So breathe deeply in, and slowly out. And just see if you're able to hear the breath. It's the closest sound that you have. So the deeper that you breathe in and out, you'll be able to hear the breath. Now let's do a little technique. Put your hands in front of you, and just as you're creating this warm vapor, this warm mist when you're outside, maybe in the cold winter, or if you just want to warm up your hands. Okay, what do you have to do to blow out some warm vapor from your mouth? So go and check in your throat and see what is that you have to do on your throat, which is kind of closing a bit the throat. So you can create that warm mist or vapor with your exhalation. Now you're going to close your mouth, your lips together, and you're going to do the same thing with your throat, but breathing out with your nose. Inhale and exhale, closing the throat. Through the nose exhaling. And we're just creating some sound there. Go on and feel that you can also control the exhalation in a way that it can become slower. It can last longer. So let's do 2 more of these. Inhale, close the throat, exhale, longer and longer, and one last round. Inhale, and exhale. Hear that sound. That is your breath. And now we are becoming more and more aware of how we breathe, because we naturally breathe, we always do it, but it is a challenge to focus on the breath and to be aware on the breath. But if we do that, we can leave all those places where the mind is all around the place, and be here, embody, and actually living in this moment, in this place, just one thing at a time. We're going to give some movement, so let's move our legs. This is just to shake a little bit of the tension. Move your toes. Maybe round your spine, just to shake off some of this tension. And while you move, just think about that we are naturally in motion. We naturally have our mind and our focus and concentrations bouncing from here to there. So it's very normal. when I am telling you that sometimes we are all over the place, just think that that is very normal. Naturally, kind of the mind does that. And in a life that we have a lot of distractions, well, our mind, our focus bounces here and there with less control more often and more intense. Okay, so let's have our legs to one side and give yourself a little twist. Feeling some places that you have a little bit of tension, tightness, and let's move to the other side. If you're in the chair, you can just grab your one knee with the opposite hand and give yourself a little twist. Lean a bit down with your torso. There you go. Come back to the center, and we're just going to move a little bit our neck from one side and then the other, switching. Same thing, feeling activated points where we have more tension and tightness than other places. Just checking on those. Give a little stretch. And let's recover again our initial seated pose. If you need to change it, it's okay. I encourage you to change the cross on your legs so we can give our body some sort of alignment. Okay, so have again that posture that welcomes your breath. Legs relaxed, torso high, chest up, and the spine lengthened. If you're using something on your back, go ahead and be in a posture that is easy. Sometimes not the most comfortable. We're not laying on a bed. We want to have some sort of activation or engagement. Okay, so let's go to the third element that the breath has, which is a temperature. In this case, the feeling is going to be even more subtle. So for some of us, it's going to be even harder to actually go and feel that. If that is what's happening, I just want you to take a note, maybe write it on your journal, and just check if it's really hard to feel the temperature or not. And just by noticing that, we are achieving something very important, which is knowing. And by knowing, then we can do something about that. But let's just start from the beginning. Now you focus your attention on your nose. On your inside, on your nostrils. Usually, there is a different temperature between the inhalation and the exhalation. Can you tell? Can you tell apart the temperature when you breathe in? Which one is cooler versus when you breathe out? Is it hard to notice that? Okay, let's just see if you can do it with your mouth. So, like if you're whistling, just placing your mouth like that, your lips like if you're whistling, you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale. Can you tell the temperature, which one is cooler? Exhale. Which one is warmer? Okay, so if it's very clear there, it happens the same with the nose. So let's go and check if you can tell by breathing in with your nose which one is cooler and which one is warmer. Let's do it for one more round. As you can see, we're moving from elements that are very clear, like the movement of your belly or ribs, and then the sound that is a bit harder to tell, to recognize, and now the temperature, which is even more subtle, so it requires more and more attention. It's like coming from general to something more particular, like we're scoping the review of the breath. We are drawing the margins, the limits, and we can focus not on a big circle, but on a little dot. Imagine that that's what we're doing. So when you are focusing on the temperature of your breath through the nostril, now you're sharpening your attention more. Are you concerned and are you thinking about those things that you were concerned about before of this session? When you are feeling the temperature inside your nostrils, are those concerns and thoughts and emotions taking your whole attention still? Maybe your mind bounces to those places again, but I'm pretty sure you were not there if you're doing this exercise. If you're feeling the temperature of the air flowing in and out your nostrils. Now, let's start counting the breath and let's have a vision. So we're going to visualize either a pendulum, like something that goes back and forth. It can be, I don't know, a jigsaw if you like carpentry, and it can move back and forth. It can be a wave of the ocean if you like beach, and the wave goes back and forth. Okay, so you're gonna grab a vision right now. Anyone you like. It can be a clock, like those old clocks that move back and forth from the right to the left. Choose that object, and we are going to focus on the process of the breath. So we're going to leave the little point, the small dot, and again we're moving into a bigger circle of focus. Now let's move back as we inhale and forward as we exhale. Like the wave of the ocean in as you inhale, out as you exhale. Like a cuckoo clock, right as you inhale and left as you exhale. So choose that object that you want to visualize and breathe back and forth. Again, if your mind is bouncing to a distraction, to another place, another object, please gently and kindly, with a safe touch, bring your attention to the breath. If you need to feel the movement of your breath again on your body, belly, waist, chest, shoulders, go ahead and use that element. Okay. Finally, we're going to stabilize the breath. And this is to have even the inhalation. So we're going to inhale in 4 times, and the exhalation, and we're going to exhale in 4 times as well. So you can keep on using that vision. And if you want to recollect and to retake all these elements and feel the temperature and hear the sound and feel the movement of the breath, so it's way better. So let's stabilize the breath. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1. Keep counting. Exhale 4. Very good. So you have added up another element on this whole feeling the breath exercise, which is counting. Why are we counting? Because we want to have the breath stable. And that is to just inhale 4 times and exhale 5 times. Now we're going to start in here. If in your own practice you want to breathe deeper, up to 5 times your inhale, up to 5 times your exhalation, go ahead and do it. Now that we are here with our attention within, I just want you to feel if you feel too quick, if there is some sort of rush, anxiety, if you're in a hurry, if your heart kind of feels too fast. Okay, then you're going to be counting on the exhalation. You're going to focus your counting on exhale. And then just leave the inhalation to be a reflex. So hopefully you can count as well, up to 4, but it's okay. Focus on the exhalation. On the other hand, if you're feeling that your breath and that your heart rate is too slow, that you're kind of gloom or depressed, feeling some laziness, something holding you back, then you're going to focus on the inhalation. And we're going to count up to 4 the inhalation. And leave the exhalation being as a reflect. Okay, so come back to your breath. Use the elements. Use the visions. And now choose responsibly and wisely if you want to focus on the inhalation because you're too slow, or if you want to focus on the exhalation because you feel too quick or too in a rush. So choose, what do you need today to calm down or to activate yourself? Now, choose if you're inhaling or if you're going to exhale. Get ready. And 1, 2, 3, 4, reflexive. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. So if you want to wrap up the practice and recollect what you learned today, you have 3 elements on your breath: movement, sound, and temperature. We can go from a big circle of attention to a small dot by focusing on the nose, on the temperature. That's the most subtle. We can use an object to visualize something that has movement, like a pendulum. And we can choose what part of the breath is going to be the most helpful for the situation where we are. Now, we're going to finish with a more challenging exercise, just for fun. So now you're going to place your attention in the nose. And let's go outside the nose, on the tip of your nose. See if you can create this small dot of attention even smaller. It is a challenge, and it's very normal if your mind bounces somewhere else. Kindly recollect and retake it back to this object, which is focusing somewhere on something, and that is a very tiny place outside the nose, on the tip of your nose. And we want to see if we can feel the breath there, outside the nose. If you have your eyes closed, place your inner sight there on the tip of your nose. Your attention, the frontal part of your brain, then is also there. And as your focus is there, breathe evenly. 4 times as you inhale, 4 times as you exhale. But please do not use the pendulum anymore. Maybe our vision is a small dot on the tip of your nose. Don't lose the depth, the rhythm. Don't lose all that process that you can feel from the breath. We're just sharpening your attention, and I want you to be able to see that you can stop bouncing your attention all over the place, and you can be on one steady little moment that you are living here and now. This very little moment in this very little place. With a big inhalation, let that go. Breathe deeply in and out. Have your hands in the center of your chest, and we are going to give ourselves a big thank you, a big recognition, a good celebration that you're here showing up for this practice, knowing that it's a big challenge, and that you are willing and you're willing to keep on practicing this for your own health, for all these benefits. So thank you very much, and see you in the next sessions. Bye now.
Life is a winding road,